Taurus, welcome to a timeless love variant reading where we discuss however love may be absent or present in your life, or you may just be here because you caught a vibe and seeing whether or not anything within the storytelling time is yours. Please bear in mind some other detail while we get ready for your reading that I am Master 7th, aka 7th, that reads these energies for you. Should you want to know who she is, what she's all about, her details can be found in the description box below. Bear in mind, for a little clarity, I am a master healer that provides remote wellness and or tarot intuitive insights. There are other various links in the description box to help you navigate this channel and gain access to my sister channel. For this reading may provide you universal justice should you be here in Taurus being your sun rising and or Jupiter position. Should it be anywhere else, you may be in search of emotional redemption, where I ask you check out my sister channel. The content over there is timeless as well as here for your viewing pleasure. Use your discernment to take all of that which belongs to you within this reading, for remember this is not a one-to-one. All right, Taurus, let's get into your reading. A lot of you are walking with your ancestors. We have the Eight of Wands here. And the Chariot here. You're in a more of there's like a wedge. And you're the wedge between the flow of you and ether. Because we have the Eight of Cups here with the Emperor and the Lover's energy. The Lover's energy, for me, is the ultimate energy of feminine and masculine energy. That's why they're depicted with both genders on this card. And it's also belonging to Gemini. Within Gemini is like left hemisphere, right hemisphere of the developing evolutions of how the zodiacs play a role to the emotional intelligence of mankind. All right, so anyway, there is chaos in this world for you, this world being the third dimensional world, and then there's groundedness in the way that you spiritualize and have rhyme and reason, riddle and clues, expression, thoughts, desire, learning, growing, socializing, and ritualizing your perspective in this third dimensional world, which we're going to deem as your spiritual journey. That spiritual journey has been, you've been pushing it to the max. It's like your foot is on the gas pedal all the way down to the fucking floor. Pedal to the metal, as they say. And you've been taking off. You've been hungry and moving forward for a very long time. You've been meeting a lot of people who keep feeding that hunger and feeding that desire to keep pushing ahead, which is also a lot of your appeal of being sun sign Taurus. You're in the bull. You're going to go through that fucking glass if you need to, and you know that the glass won't hurt you. It speaks a lot of your power, especially spiritual power, but then there's a cry. You hear that crying? The children crying in the background? I feel like those are your ancestors crying in the background that are a bit confused of how at certain steps that you go, your ego is not in the wholesomeness that your soul is. It's as if you manipulate your own ego to be beneficial at certain points, and then you have one certain relationship with ether. Now this is where it's triggering me as a reader for Cancerian energy. I have my whole fucking issue with reading for Cancer at this time. Obviously that is perspective on how 7th reads these energies, so whether or not that comes across into other timelines of yours or other readers, who knows? Don't care. Just reading the energy. The deliverer. Yet there is a sassiness in the ether of the ego that is important to have a song and dance with. Which my sassiness is like, I'm just a messenger. Your sassiness is in question. Almost like there is no sassiness. I'm not saying that you need to, but maybe it's beneficial character trait and personality that could be just a little pitbull or little tiny chihuahua, and the way that you address people and how you demand other people to address you. Learning how to do that, I think, will incorporate a fascinating interaction between what it means for you to take ownership with your own shadow side, which I feel that some of you have been like trying to weave in and out of traffic of to try to avoid. But Ether's been looking at you because you can't bypass the speed of Ether. All right, you have been smart, you have been intellectual, and you've mapped out a lot of your spiritual conquests with a lot of rituals, and Ether has allowed all of that to happen because Ether is contingent on one thing: allowing your free will to never be in jeopardy. That is a big gift, in my opinion, and as a reader to read that energy, because I, as a reader, am still vibrating and sharing these messages as a human vibration, and I find it idiotic that at times Ether doesn't come in and just do a whole reset that it's more than capable of doing. Because of you, we, the third dimension of existence, can manipulate energy. Then I wonder what the Earth and the galaxy can manipulate in order to be like, haha, got your food. We're smarter. I feel like that bit of sassiness and aspects and ass kissing is coming forth because y'all have met some of your spiritual masters who are stronger than you, and for some reason you're not in a relationship with those people, and I wonder why. It's a little strange, but it gets too personalized in this moment for me to really depict that, so I'm not going to read that. I think the answer lies within the question. I wonder why. And then boom, 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 all these emotions come up, and then there you go. That's your reason. All right, we have the Eight of Pentacles. This is very the same bookends of 8 and 8 power as Virgo energy, I think. Yeah. It's just their major arcanas were two separate, different major arcanas. I think that was, I forgot what it was. Oh, I think it may have been the Hierophant with the Death card. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Point is that there is a quest to understand where you are, contingent in being a mankind of some kind, a hue of a mankind of some kind, the species of Homo sapien of some kind, and knowing how much of a relationship you can have with Ether, and then knowing that you control the relationship wellness, that of which you have with Ether, not Ether. Ether don't control that shit. Ether don't answer to that shit. Ether don't have time for that shit. Ether doesn't care about relationships. It's very selfish. Very selfish. You came from Ether. Ether's not worried about you. That's like having a great relationship with Mother. Mother understands. She made you. Off you go. Live your life. A good mommy will allow that to happen. It's non-gender specific, y'all. Alright, Temperance energy. I felt that with a mommy energy. Mommy, go, go, go. Go out there and explore the world. Be kind. Don't take everything for the value that it represents itself. Think, and think some more. The benefit that you have that Ether doesn't have is human intelligence, which is processed through human emotion, which again, Ether doesn't care about emotions. For that, Ether is dumb. Ether doesn't have emotions. Ether is looking at the species of human and wondering, interesting. Well, this is different than any other form of the galaxy or the universe. Y'all can have thoughts, and some of these thoughts are contingent of manifesting blemishes to all that there is. Does that make it smart or stupid? we're going to look at that a little bit longer, a little bit more under the looking glass and a microscope of things. And then we're going to have to teach y'all that it is a very independent journey to make peace with life. And a lot of you understand that. A lot of you have very strong genealogy, right? Like, it's powerful, right? That third eye is illuminated. You've been working hard without really needing to, because all you really did was show up to entertaining what you felt called to do. And more or less, more than not, a lot of you have done this. It's more the people you've affected and gaining more of your healing attributes. I feel like you owe some people an apology. Seven of Wands. Death card, Star card, and Three of Pentacles. Yeah. Some of you, I'm feeling, if you have children, some of you owe an apology to your children, because some of your pain you've carried before your child has been born, you're bringing onto your child, and it's not fair to the child. Someone's thinking about getting like a hand tattoo. Just think about that a bit more. It's not about a yes or no of not being good or not. Just think about it a little bit more. Put more thought to it. Answers will come once you do. Someone wants to relocate, like move to another place. Some of you who are like very into that spiritual, know how and whom you are in anger with earth energy and would like to return home. Some of you may need to get into some sort of construction work of some kind, some DIY projects, or I'm also seeing embroidery of some kind. Some hands-on work, also maybe cooking, seeing someone putting on an apron, yeah. There's like a fashion change wanting to happen. Also an interest to work on a project with someone that maybe is already coming up. But before that project will really take off, there's some things that will need to occur before that has an ability to take off. It's the same with a relationship. If there's a person that you have in mind that offers you a feeling of completion, and this person is not in a devoted relationship with you, is because there are still chapters of yourself you need to discover that just that person won't be willing to accept in their world. It's not that they don't accept it, it just doesn't belong in their world. It's not there. So you entering their world now would make it feel foreign for you, and you would feel out of place when you shouldn't feel out of place. So you have to figure that out on your own, more or less. Feed and fulfill certain blank statements for yourself without it being contingent on someone else needing to fulfill that for you. And you have to be on those processes in life in order for that person physical, in the way that you want to touch and hold them, have them maybe emotionally forever, and like eye to eye kind of thing, and that longing, that connection, for that to be their chapters of internal self need to be like punctured through, zipped open, and zip closed on your own. This person that you may have thought about to be a potential person of devoted energy isn't about it being soulmate or twin flame. It's about loyalty and teaching you the art of devotion. Changing the perspective game, I think, will be very important for you to now have new energy reintroduce itself to you and have a purpose this time, where before they didn't have a purpose. Knight of Cups. This person on the radar is maybe even a healer, maybe practice alternative holistic medicine or in a medical field. Something having to do with being medicinal. So it could also be someone who works with cannabis, something medicinally. And they have projects for themselves and how to show up for making themselves be of service for others. That's I think showing up why they are not ready for certain parts of yourself that you want another person to heal or validate about yourself. It's coming across as sounding like they don't have time for that. They have to have time for something else. And it's not to say they wouldn't ever have the time and attention for you, but because their focus is on something else, you might feel that they're distracted. So you need to maybe learn that it's not them that heals that part of it. Again, this is a message that repeats itself. It's not them that can heal you. Also, a healer doesn't heal you. I, as a master healer, doesn't heal you. I assist in you doing that for yourself. I provide resources. They provide resources, or could potentially will provide resources, in being on the radar, making their way to you. But they have to go the roundabout way to get to you, because the focus for you looking at them so much is with a different desire than they wish to make eye contact with you. It's not that they're not looking at you, it's just the contact that you wish for it to be, again, is something that they're just looking this way. But their eyesight is maybe not towards locking eyes to you, but their emotion is allowing them to journey towards what it is that they're in contact with to get to you. And it's to accept that journey happening without being in an emotional codependency of needing it to happen in a certain time, space, needs to look a certain way, needs to act a certain way, needs to be a certain way, like without any of that. Nothing. Zero zitch, nothing. And if you have to go through certain emotions, and maybe for most of you it was anger, anguish, fear, depression, in order to get that clarity to be understood, then ether's going to push you into that narrative further and further and further and further and further. You will think it's misery until misery slaps you in the face and says, is it really that miserable? Or am I giving you the fucking tool to how to deal with me right here? You're just afraid to look at me. You're looking past me. You know? So, and if you don't know, now you know. You know. All right. Last card is the Four of Swords. Taking all that and finding your pendulum swinging and leaning towards an opportunity to regenerate, wherever that opportunity may exist. Whether it's in 5-minute naps, in a 5-minute shower, in a 10-hour sleep, or a new diet change, or a new cognitive change, or a new emotional stance, or a new physical existence, you're making the journey between you and you being your own pendulum of your own universe ring true for yourself. All right. I'm wishing you a wonderful morning, noon, or night, wherever you are in the ether of this time and space, and may you keep flowing, growing, and glowing. Take care.